Hello and welcome to the Vodafone Automotive UBI training video. This video will take you through the components of the SCD30 and also its installation. This is the installation kit, which comprises of 2 fuse holders and 3 amp fuses and a large Velcro sticky pad to secure the device in the vehicle. The fuse holders will be used on the voltage supplies to the device. One on the plus 30 permanent supply and the other on the plus 15 ignition supply. The SCD30 has 2 connections. Connector J1, the 8-way connector, is for the power harness. Connector J2, the 4-way connector, is for the event recorder. The GPS and GSM antennas are mounted internally in this device. As shown here, the GPS antenna is underneath the logo marked top. This is the power harness. The power harness has 3 wires. Pin number 1, the red wire, is the plus 30 constant supply. Pin number 2, the green-red wire, is the plus 15 ignition supply. And pin number 3, the black wire, is the earth for the device. The event recorder simply plugs into the device. Note, it is very important that the event recorder is securely mounted in the vehicle, then connected to the SCD30 before the power supplies are connected. Also, when securing the event recorder in a vehicle, the arrow must be facing towards the front of the vehicle. Before the installation starts, it is important that we protect the area where we're going to be working. In this case, we are working in the front of the vehicle, so we are applying seat covers to the area. A pre-installation check should be done on the vehicle, on the exterior and interior, including the light and all electronic components. When checking the interior of the car, start the vehicle up to check for any warning lights. The first thing to be installed is the event recorder. It should be secured using the fixing hole with a screw, or in this case a nut and bolt, and its double-sided sticky pad. Note, it is very important that the event recorder doesn't point up or down. It must be as horizontal as we can get it. Also making sure that the arrow is pointing towards the front of the vehicle. The plus 30 and plus 15 power supplies are going to be taken from the fuse box for this installation. When checking any wiring on the vehicle, use a multimeter. Here we are checking for the constant 12 volt supply. Some vehicles after a set period of time have a low current shutdown mode. Make sure this power supply does not disappear when this happens. When checking your ignition supply, make sure the ignition supply stays live through the starting phase of the vehicle. With the engine running, check that the voltage remains, and also check when switching off components such as the heater, the lights, this ignition supply does not disappear. It must remain live all the time the engine is running. Before we connect the power supplies, we must connect the fuse holders to the cable. Cut the cable to the correct length, then solder the fuse holder to the end of the cable. Insulate the connection. Here we are using heat shrink. Insulation tape or self-amalgamating tape could also be used. When connecting to the vehicle's wiring, strip enough of the insulation back on the vehicle's wire to make a good connection. With the fuse removed, wrap the supply wire from the SCD30's power harness around the vehicle's wire. Then solder this connection, making sure the solder flows through the connection. Insulate the connection. Here we are using self-amalgamating tape. You could also use insulation tape. Finally, make good the vehicle's harness by wrapping it in its original covering. In this case, it's cloth tape. The black wire, the earth connection, should be connected to a vehicle's original earth point. When all the SCD30's connections are complete, loom the harness up to make it look like part of the vehicle's harness. Secure the device in its final location using the double-sided sticky pad and cable ties. Note: when deciding on a location for the device in a vehicle, you should take into consideration that the GPS aerial cannot receive signal through metal. Also, heat reflective windscreens can affect the GPS aerial, resulting in poor reception. In this installation, the device has been mounted behind a normal windscreen underneath a plastic dashboard. The final part of the installation is to commission the unit. With the vehicle's ignition off, insert the two fuses, one in the constant +30 supply and one in the ignition +15 supply. The LED on the device will light up constantly for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, the LED will switch off. After waiting up to 5 minutes, the LED will start to flash slowly like this. This denotes that the device has successfully sent its identification message to the Vodafone server. Note: at this point, the vehicle's ignition should be turned on and the vehicle started. When the device's LED starts to flash quickly like this, it means that the device has now found GSM signal and also has got a fix on its position using the GPS. Finally, after using one of our mobile phone applications, or if the device has self-commissioned, the LED will change to this flash pattern. This denotes that the commissioning procedure is complete. After the installation is complete and the vehicle is put back together, a post-installation check should be done of the interior and exterior of the vehicle, including all the vehicle's electrical systems.